So next big revolution is going to be digital manufacturing. So the day the digital or what we call personalized, customized manufacturing. Another important area that is going to transform our world is going to be the bioelectronics, or the beginning of the what we call basically the combination of electronics with the flesh or the living cells. That has been already taking place in many research centers, but still to an application level, maybe in another 5 to 10 years, there will be big revolutions where we will be wearing our chips on the hand or legs to measure our body temperature or any kind of physical activity. So for example, I can also give one more example. If you take for example, living cell, all of you are studying about cell wall and cell presence and absence of cell membrane in plant and animal cell. Right, and inside these cells they have mitochondria, something called a mitochondria, which is also called as the powerhouse. Basically, it breaks down the ATP cycle to ADP cycle, ADP to ATP cycle, releasing the energy. That is why we call the energy or the powerhouse of the cell. This mitochondria structure itself can be conceived as a MOSFET structure because it has 3 layers. Right? So this is the beginning of the real bioelectronics, where we are able to exploit the property of our biological systems. Another good example, those who have studied about neurons, especially for cognitive technology, the neurons basically conduct because of sodium, potassium, chlorine and calcium ions exchange. That is what happens in a neuron. You have axon, then you have glial bodies, then you have the dendrites, which they communicate with another neuron nearby through synapses. Now, if you see how these ions are conducting, that somebody comes to touch you, you are immediately able to feel. One is through perception, another is through the sensing action of your touch. Basically, you are sensitive, your skin is sensitive to touch. So that is nothing but an ionic conductivity or ionic current. Okay, so these ionic current are passing through something called microtubules. What are these microtubules? These microtubules are nothing but alpha beta polymers, right? So there are enormous research going on where we can use this microtubule itself as a diode structure. Right. So in the future, in another 20 to 30 years, you will find lot of these biological systems becoming electronic structures for different kind of applications. So that will be the beginning point where we will integrate electronics with flesh. So the second thing that will going to change around the world will be the environment. So there has been a lot of talk about disagreements about energy, whether the environment is degrading or not, but every individual can understand what is actually going on around us, and there is a lot of degradation in our environment. So for example, it is similar to say that we may not be able to go to another planet. In 1996, there was a James Bond movie called GoldenEye, where they started showing a touch screen based mobile phone, touch screen based screens, and today it is a reality. Nobody remembers about it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Similarly, today they are showing interstellar gravity kind of movies. We just laugh at them, but one day they will become a reality. Yeah. But still, in our country, we have a long way to go where we use the basic STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, for our own problem-solving abilities, indigenous problem-solving ability. Most of the product that we buy from the West have been invented or produced or discovered only to solve their own problems. Once they solve their problem, they export to other countries, and that becomes a huge market, right? So we Indians have to invest more energy, more money into research and development, and it is not about how much I can earn a package. Because of this very exponential growth of the software service industry, packages become a big issue in engineering colleges and science colleges across India. Right? So, but otherwise it was a very normal country, normal developing country. Still we are a developing country. Out of 127 crores, still 30% of the population is living below poverty line. So using our universities, IITs, and all these 3,400 engineering colleges and Krishi agriculture universities, we can solve the farmer suicide. We can solve the problem of farmer suicide by having a new kind of engine system or pumping system or plants to grow in a very less amount of water. Many of the problems can be sorted out if we apply our engineering and technology skill to solve our day-to-day problem. Okay. So end of the day, it is not that everything is bad. We are progressing as a big country, so there is a lot of changes. But at the current time, we are facing a very difficult time, basically in terms of the IT industry. But it should not be a shock, because our whole country of 127 crores is not dependent on a part of just an IT industry. Right? There are many other things that we can do, and that definitely our country will never ever go down. That is very much important.